We are live on BPI TV. BPI TV is right here. We're live on Facebook, and then we're going to be doing Instagram. So we've got everything covered. We got all the West Coast organizations. Today we're going to be talking about something that's on everyone's mind, which is time. You know, Michael Dell has talked about it. He said the most important thing that you're going to be talking about in the future is time, the convenience of time. What you're going to be doing with it, how fast is it going to be, it's going to be reliable. People used to talk about pricing, now people are talking about time. You know, one of the smart things, just wanted to make sure that we're good to go on our connection right here. We are. Gary Vaynerchuk has talked about it multiple times. He said that the reason that Uber was so successful is that you could go outside and get a cab in New York City. That wasn't the issue. You know, the issue is actually going outside, knowing that your cab is there, knowing how much it's going to cost, how long it's going to take, and then from A to Z, knowing, okay, this is all transparent, and it's actually more convenient because I'm not going outside to the street. Like this morning, perfect example is, so we had the Pride Parade here in New York City, and they shut down the city bikes. I usually city bike to the gym, and they shut down all the city bikes. They removed it, so I went there. There was nothing. There was no cabs. So I'm sitting on 6th Avenue. Cabs are just flying by. So I'm like, all right, I got to go to Lyft. I got to go to Uber. I got to find out what's going on. And then sure enough, I ordered one of them, knowing that the convenience of actually getting a Lyft or Uber was going to be quicker than waiting for a cab. Everyone's talking about time. So there's going to be a post that I talk about, which is about time chunking, which is about today. So really this comes down to Cal Newport. Cal Newport started, or not started, but he has an incredible book, highly recommended. It's called Deep Work. And deep work means that if you're an author, if you're a musician, if you're in sales, if you're a business owner, if you're trying to get higher than anyone else, like productivity, that you actually go there, you schedule out your time, but you're more efficient with your time. So let me give you an example. You have your day, all right? So you have, I break it down to 3 days. Before work, the morning, and then the afternoon. That's it. So you have the macro, which is the day, and then before work is what are you eating, what time are you waking up, are you going to the gym, how are you getting ready, you know, what's your morning routine? That's very important because that translates into your morning, and your morning is the most important part of your day. The morning is literally, as Gary Keller talks about, the number one thing. As Brian Tracy talks about, eat that frog. So in the morning, that is everything. In the afternoon, that's a little bit different. The afternoon that's where you have your listening appointments. That's where you have your regular appointments. That's when you actually get work done that you don't want to get done, maybe projects you want to start. So the morning routine really bleeds into the morning. And then the morning kind of bleeds into the afternoon. I remember going around 2 o'clock and thinking, okay, I'm exhausted. You know, I don't feel like doing any of the work that I want to do right now. I don't feel like, you know, getting ready for a listing pitch maybe tomorrow. And then after that, I was saying, why am I actually tired at 2 p.m.? So I started reverse engineering and noticed that everything comes down to time chunking. You're going to get, you know, obviously in today's world, everyone says they're busy. You know, are you really busy? You know, are you really, truly busy? It's easy to say you're busy. At what time were people not busy? You know, I want to know there was a time where people just walked around like, you know what? I'm not that busy today. It's not that big of a deal. I'm just going to sit around. You know, right now we have more time than ever. How we spend it is everything. We could literally, anything we want, we could just order on our phone. It could be delivered to our marketplace, which is, say, our business. It could be delivered to our home, which is food, water, drink, furniture, clothing. We used to have to go out and get that stuff, you know, and now we have less time. You know, let's consider what we're putting in those little moments, those micro decisions. Okay, so I'm just going to leave you with this, which is time chunking. So time chunking obviously comes down from Cal Newport, which he talks about what is your number one thing. I talked about that last week. You have to have a number one thing. For me, it's sales calls in the morning from 9 to 10. I can't do anything. Nothing is scheduled there. That is like my religious time block. Everything is around that. Okay, that's like the little part of a bridge, that little piece. It actually has a name. I forgot the name of it, but that little piece is exactly the most important thing that I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to say, from there, what am I going to do before and what am I going to do after? Okay, before that, I'm going to need to make sure that I'm prepared. My phone is off, it's on airplane mode, I'm not answering emails, I'm not answering calls, I'm not going out and saying, hey, listen, let's counter offer this. 9 to 10, that's my time block. So time chunking means during this time, I'm gonna be the most proactive. Then right after that, I'm gonna do follow-up. Okay, so I'll give you an example for me. So in the morning, my morning routine, that's an entire time chunk. I wake up, I meditate, I journal, I go to the gym. But during that whole thing, that's known as my morning routine. If I miss any part of that morning routine, honestly, my day is not as good, all right? So leading up to when I get to work, I consider that a time chunk of the morning, okay? Once I get to work, which is right around 8 o'clock, it depends. Depends what class I go to. I get there at 8 o'clock, and then from 8 to 9, that's a time chunk where I get prepared for 9 o'clock, because 9 o'clock is my number one thing, which is sales calls. All right, so I reach out to for sale by owners. I'll do future videos on that and how exciting that is. So from 9 to 10, this is all I'm gonna be talking about, which is for sale by owners. Leading up to that, like I said, I'm not answering emails. I'm not negotiating. I'm not going out and doing listing pitches. I'm definitely not doing appointments. Anything can wait. Everything is scheduled around there. If there's a closing, I'll show up late. It doesn't really matter. If there's a walkthrough, I do it at 10, and I just know that that is my time chunk. Then you go to the time chunk of 10 to 11. Okay, that's my follow-up. I'm sitting down at that time. I'm not on my phone. And essentially from 11 to about 11:30, that's when I have lunch. 11:30 to 12, I do additional follow-up. 12 to 1. This is consistent. The variability is when let's push the closing back. Let's push the walkthrough back. Let's do a listing pitch. That variability is, I don't want that in the morning. That's when you're the most fresh. That's the thing is, nobody talks about this. Nobody talks about how to actually get business. Your 9 to 10 is everything. People just, start becoming successful. People start getting bigger listings, more buildings, more listings, more developments, but they don't talk about how they actually do it. And actually, I got to give Ryan Serhan some credit on this. He talks about 3 things that he does in the morning. Number 1 is he's the CEO. CEO is you go out and you get business. The COO, which is next, he goes out and he says, what do I need to service right now? What is the most immediate concerns, okay? And then number 3 is CFO, which obviously everybody knows. You take care of the financials. What marketing campaigns do I need to do? What do I need to do on the financial front? Do I need to do sponsorships or mailings or anything on social media that is paid, target an audience? So you have those 3 things. So really break down your day into 3. So you have the overall day, which is the macro. Then you start getting a little bit more micro. So then you have the 3. You have the before work, morning, and afternoon. And then you say, what's the most important thing in each? The most important thing for me is going to the gym before I go to work. The most important thing is my sales calls. And then the afternoon is the most important thing is my follow-up. If I do that, I had a successful day. A lot of people leave work and they say, well, that was good. That was fun. What did you actually do? What did you do? What new business did you actually get? You have to really, really consider where new business is coming in because, I can write the book on how not to start a business because when I first started, I overspent, I overhired, I didn't have the processes, I didn't have the situation to actually scale at 4 to 5 people and have the business to scale. And then I said, okay, we got to go back to the drawing board and build that foundation. The building that foundation is the time blocks and the time chunks. That's a productivity hack because a lot of people, if they have free time, they're just going to fill it. They're going to do online dating. They're going to answer emails. They're going to make those callbacks. They're going to do voicemails or emails or, just miscellaneous things. They'll go out and they'll chitter chatter with other agents. That's during the day, that is the religious time. Okay, if you do those 3 things, 1, you do 3 chunks, okay? Cal Newport says there's 3 hours that you really, truly, if you get 3 hours of deep work done per day, you're gonna have a successful week if you compound that every single day for a week, for a month, for a year, for a decade. That's a lifetime of just productivity. How do you think these guys like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, even authors, Brian Greene or any of these guys, how do they actually write 300 to 400 paged research novels? They have assistants to research, yes, but they actually time block and nothing gets in the way. I highly recommend you guys do that. Obviously, if you're new to BPIU, subscribe to the video. It's a productivity hack. BPIU is essentially going to be obviously to agents that, they want to take not only their business to the next level, but just things that I pick up I understand, I notice. And if you guys are new, subscribe to the video. We go live every single Monday. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about sellers about when should I actually reduce the price? When should I take it off the market? Is it the right time? Is it the marketing? Is it the agent? And leave your comments below. Let me know what you think about this. And of course, we have, if you want to watch it on my personal YouTube, actually BPI, personal Facebook, and then we have Instagram TV, and I'm looking at it and it looks like it's actually crooked. So if you're watching on Instagram TV, I'm sorry. All right, guys, have an awesome day. Hope you're well. Talk to you guys soon.